Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Sandoval.
And I'm Nicole Pasecki. Breaking right now. Neighbors waking up to hear gunfire as deputies tell Local 6 they were forced to shoot a man.
Plus, Local 6 is tracking a band of storms heading into Central Florida. You can see here on the radar. But first, it is 6:30 on this Tuesday morning in Central Florida.
That means it's time for a look at the stories affecting your world in the 6:30 Eye Opener.
Cheered under a sunny sky as runners streamed across the finish line of last year's Boston Marathon. Then everything changed in an instant. Let's go, Boston! But the people of Boston are ready to move forward.
Robert Corchado is the only person who has so far been charged in connection with the deadly KinderCare accident.
Did you have an opportunity to download the black box from the Solera?
Not yet.
Similar to black boxes on planes, 96% of newer vehicles have one of these recorders. It's a device experts say could tell troopers what was going on as this crash was happening.
These deals will look especially good to you if you owe Uncle Sam money this year. Hard Rock Cafe will give you a free dinner, but only after you perform a song on stage in front of the entire restaurant.
At totality, when the moon is in the full shadow of the earth, it takes on the color of all of the sunrises and sunsets on Earth.
All of them, huh?
All of them.
Wow.
If you didn't see it, stick around 15 minutes to see the great views of the blood moon from around the country.
Yeah, including right here in Central Florida. We start, though, here in the Storm Tracking Center with Troy because he is tracking major changes to our weather
Yeah,
today.
we've had some nice weather the last couple of days. Today, not so much.
All right, Jess, thank you. We have breaking news just into Local 6 this morning. This is truly a bizarre story you have to hear about. Seminole County deputies tell us that they just used stop sticks to catch the woman in the back of this cruiser here. She was trying to get away from them, but listen to this. Deputies only started following her because she left $50 at a store and they wanted to give it back to her. Now, we're told a clerk in Castleberry ran into a parking lot trying to give her this money back. The clerk saw the deputy, gave him the money, and then he drove after her. But the woman wouldn't pull over. So the deputy ran the plates and found out that the driver actually had a suspended license. After using the stop sticks, deputies found drugs in the car and arrested her. Amazing story. 6:33 now on your Tuesday. Also breaking right now, deputies in Lake County telling us they had to shoot a man to protect themselves.
Details are just coming in on this story this morning. Local 6's Shelly Muniz is live on Ocklawaha Drive, just north of US 441 near Lake Eustis. And Shelly, you've been talking to investigators. Why did the deputies feel they needed to fire here?
Well, investigators, and what's next for him when he's released from the hospital? Will he see some charges?
And Shelly, what do we know about the deputy who fired that shot?
We know very little. They're not giving an ID, but they say that he is a veteran. There were also possibly 2 deputies who are on administrative leave, which leads us to believe that both fired shots. Of course, we're going to be standing by for more information. We'll pass along any to you.
All right. Thank you, Shelly, live in Leesburg.
When the clock strikes 2:49 this afternoon, it will be exactly 1 year since 2 pressure cooker bombs went off at the Boston Marathon. There's one of them going off right now. It created a chaotic scene that a lot of us will never forget. 2 explosions, 12 seconds apart, right near the finish line here. It killed 3 people and hurt more than 300 others. And it set off a statewide manhunt for the 2 men seen in this surveillance video. These are the Tsarnaev brothers. One of the brothers, Tamerlan, would die in a gunfight. It also took the life of a police officer. It all finally came to an end when Dzhokhar Tsarnaev was found in this boat. You can see here in this surveillance video. Now today, a memorial ceremony and a moment of silence will happen at the finish line. This is video right here of the crews laying down that finish line. They did this a week early to get ready for today's memorial. Many of the workers who put this into place are the exact same ones who removed it last year while there was still crime scene tape there.
It's special. It's very, very special. And it's an honor to be able to do this.
It's a tribute to do it and to honor the people that were here last year that got injured and passed.
Doctors and survivors also helped raise a new flag at the hospital where many of the victims recovered there in Boston. CBS News will hold a special report with live coverage of that moment of silence and memorial. Again, that starts around 2:45 this afternoon, and you can watch that live right here on Local 6.
In just hours, family and friends will say final goodbye to this 4-year-old girl killed in last week's deadly daycare crash. Funeral services are planned today for Lily Quintus. It will be a private service. And we have been checking jail records overnight. The man accused of causing that deadly crash that took Lily's life has not bonded out of jail. This is video from Robert Corchado's appearance yesterday when a judge decided to reinstate bond, despite concerns he will flee the country. Even if Corchado is able to post bond, he will go right back to jail, but this time it would be in Seminole County, where he's wanted on drug charges. Happening today, Central Florida is expected to be named host to 2 major sporting events that will involve both the Amway Center and the renovated Citrus Bowl. The Orlando Sentinel reporting Central Florida has been chosen as the host for the 2016 and 2017 American Athletic Conference basketball tournaments. That's UCF's conference. Those tournaments will be played at the Amway Center, and on top of that, the Citrus Bowl will play host to a 3rd bowl game featuring teams from the AAC and Sun Belt conferences.
Now to a story that's really melting hearts all across the state of Florida. Animal Services in Lake County, they're trying to track down the owners of a dog found floating in the St. Johns River. Now, if you haven't seen him, come take a look at this purebred dachshund. How cute is he? He was scooped up by boaters on the river over the weekend. We're told he is in great shape. If you want to take a closer look at this guy, he's adorable. You're going to find his picture on clickorlando.com. Just look under our top stories section.
Kind of a miracle that he was such a small guy, able to survive in all that water.
He was just found waiting in the water. Somebody just found him.
Amazing, the strength.
Yeah,
he is
really
destined for greatness.
He really
All
was.
right, and that's the voice of meteorologist Troy Bridges. Troy.
Yeah, it won't take long for him to find a family. I'm quite sure of that. Today, we're starting off a little more of that in just a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
All right, Troy, thank you. 6:40 now on your Tuesday. Free fries, free dinner, free massage. It's tax day.
Not so bad, right? In 5 minutes, the freebies and deals you can get after you file your taxes. Plus, dramatic new video into our newsroom. 2 kids and their dad holding on by the tips of their fingers as rescue teams swoop in to save them. That's in 7 minutes. But first,
we just kept going through the line, so we saw it get redder and redder, so it's pretty cool seeing the progression of that.
Hundreds of people gather at UCF overnight to see the amazing blood moon. And if you missed it, we have a time lapse of that eclipse that happened while you were sleeping. Plus, why folks at UCF were actually surprised at how big this crowd was. We're back in a moment.